No greater spotlight could be on Bronny James, the eldest son of NBA legend LeBron James. Following his recent less-than-stellar performance in the Summer League, Bronny has been the focal point regarding his potential and the benefits of his last name. The road to professional basketball is not turning out to be so easy for Bronny, whose game has now attracted microscopic eyes from fans and critics. Let's analyze the recent developments in this drama and the different perspectives. Entering the Summer League, Bronny James was blessed with great expectations. He was the son of one of the best basketball players of all time, and much was expected of him. Yet, he flopped. Bronny was 0 for 12 from the three-point land, with only 15 points coming from 3 games. This drew heavy criticism from fans and analysts alike. In a game against the Lakers' rival, Bronny had his worst performance of the summer, accumulating only 2 points and coughing up 2 turnovers, which magnified further scrutiny and questions over his pro ability. Initial expectations had been built for Bronny's arrival at the Summer League, with fans expecting to see more of the same from his legendary father's showcases. Reality hit hard when Bronny failed to find his rhythm in the game. He managed to score just 15 points in 3 games, shooting 0 for 12 from the three-point line in his first showings. This poor start drew criticism from fans and basketball analysts alike, expecting much more from the young player. Things took a turn for the worse during a game against one of the Lakers' biggest rivals. In what was maybe his most important shot to shut the critics up, Bronny played his worst game of the summer. He scored just 2 points, turning the ball over twice. The sad show in this one left people only further doubting his potential to succeed on the professional level. All the while, critics wondered if Bronny was more in the league because of his famous surname than talent potential, with all of this hovering like a dark cloud over his ambition to have a career in the NBA and to do what his father has done in the league. It all took a dramatic turn when Finals MVP Jaylen Brown came under the radar, as he was caught on camera showing doubt about Bronny James's NBA future. In an exchange with Angel Reese and Kaiser Gondik, Brown said flat out, "I don't think Bronny is a pro." Reese replied, "He's not." And Gondik speculated Bronny would wind up on a G League team before Brown interjected, saying the famous last name could get him onto the Lakers. These candid comments quickly went viral, setting the already heated debate about Bronny's capabilities as a professional player ablaze. Fans and critics alike dissected Brown's remarks, some agreeing that Bronny showed in Summer League he wasn't ready for the big league, while others came to his defense, explaining it was way too early to completely judge his potential off a few games. Brown's comments went viral, piling more pressure on Bronny to perform. He is the son of a legend in the NBA, so he faces great scrutiny. While Jaylen Brown later released a respectful tweet, acknowledging that Bronny has much potential and hopes he grows, his words were already out there fueling the controversy. The incident spelled out a hard reality of sports. Legacy and performance are under constant scrutiny. Now, with Bronny's path highly scrutinized in the basketball community, he will have to face up to the negativity, prove the doubters wrong, and show he can find his own way into the NBA amidst mounting pressure. Much of the debate revolves around the perceived influence that LeBron James has over his son's career. A great many lambast the fact that Bronny is seemingly given opportunities not because of his skill in basketball, but because of who his father is. In the minds of many, the control that LeBron exerts over the NBA spills onto the floor and into the front offices of teams, ultimately into the media. This view insinuates that the road to the NBA by Bronny will be more paved because of his father's legendary status, rather than by his individual merit as a player. This is further fueled by the huge expectations and scrutiny Bronny faces, whereby every single bit about his game is compared to that of his illustrious father. Adding another layer to the controversy, former NBA player Enes Kanter has openly described LeBron as a dictator of the NBA, implying that opposing LeBron's agenda could mean severe repercussions like being traded. Kanter's remarks suggest that LeBron's influence extends into executive decisions within the league, thus affecting other players' careers. Such a perception furthers the controversy encircling Bronny, as his career may not get a surge that is wholly fair considering the power that his father wields. The idea that Bronny is dependent on LeBron's gravitational pull resumes a debate on meritocracy in professional sports and whether people such as him have the ability to carve out their own identities and careers separate from the legacies left by their parents in sports. In 2023, Bronny was voted into the McDonald's All-American Game, possibly the greatest distinction a prep basketball player can reach. His selection, however, was not devoid of controversy. Bronny was chosen over other truly talented players like Mikey Williams, Caleb Foster, and eventual first-round pick A.J. Johnson. Some feel he was only picked because of his father, and not because he had truly earned it. The decision instantly ignited a debate about whether Bronny truly deserved the spot or if he rode his famous father's remarkable career coattails. He said the attention puts a spotlight on how much pressure and scrutiny Bronny is under, as every achievement he earns is picked apart in comparison to those of his peers. Frank Burleson, formerly a member of the McDonald's All-American Game Selection Committee, made the rather incendiary comment that if Bronny wasn't LeBron's son, he wouldn't have made it. In fact, the sentiment reverberated far and wide, feeding the belief that it is more his father's legacy that has rolled out the red carpet for him than his talent. His comments trivialized the inclusion of Bronny, and many took to social media under the belief that other players who really deserved the nod had been passed over because of his famous last name. This not only increased scrutiny over Bronny, but also flagged other questions about fairness and meritocracy in sport, thus further complicating the journey of the young athlete and the perception by the public of his potential. The public reaction has been quite mixed in the wake of the Bronny controversy. On one hand, some people sympathize with him for having been under extraordinary pressure because his father is a legend. They see him as just another young guy going out there to try to make a name for himself with those expectations and comparisons right in his face. They respect Bronny's resilience and dedication. His road not simple, considering the weight of that surname and the type of vicious microscope that comes along with it. The other camp includes numerous fans and observers who think too many of the opportunities Bronny is getting are tipped. The unfair advantage of his father's prominence that undermines professional sports' meritocratic ethos. They feel that he has risen through the ranks not on the basis of his abilities, but on his father's impact and influence. Yet through it all, Bronny has somehow kept his head screw-on tight, with no semblance of entitlement. He has won some respect and support for keeping his head down amid non-stop bombardment, focusing on what matters, and staying calm under huge pressure and public scrutiny. The Bronny James controversy reflects a bigger picture in the NBA and the entire sports world. It speaks of how the offspring of famous athletes are often challenged to live up to expectations and scrutiny from the public eye. It relates, too, to issues of fairness and meritocracy in professional sports, particularly with substantial influence and legacy. Although there is an undeniable sign of his influence in the league, the extent to which that affects his son is highly debatable. Few arguments revolve around deeper issues of power dynamics, favoritism, and the role of legacy in sports. Though his journey has been criticized widely, Bronny James is far from over. Sure, his performance in Summer League was less than expected. Many young players at the beginning of their careers experience that. In professional sports, development is often non-linear. Bronny has time to get better and prove his haters wrong. Supporters are hoping that Bronny will use this controversy to fuel his hunger and drive to work harder on his skills. His humbleness and pure determination alone could make all the difference in overcoming these current challenges and cementing his place as a legitimate NBA player. The story of Bronny James and his performance during the Summer League, then the controversy that created a stir, is one of legacy, influence, and the high-stakes game professional sports has become. With much riding on his back, Bronny also has an opportunity to create an identity for himself, independent of his father's shadow. As the story progresses, one thing is certain. Bronny James's path will be watched in great measure by fans, critics, and players alike. Whether he'll end up being successful or not, his story still stands to remind one of many worldly ordeals and insecurities young athletes like him go through in modern sports. What are your thoughts on Bronny James's case? Do you feel that he can make something in the NBA, or is his father's legacy overpowering? Let us know in the comments section down below. Make sure to leave a like And be sure to subscribe for more updates on your favorite sports stars and the latest news from the world of basketball.